All right, let's get right into it. We're not just talking about the future today, we're talking about the race to control it. Because right now, this global competition for AI supremacy is happening. And believe me, it is reshaping our world as we speak. And really, that's the big question, isn't it? It's what this is all about, from Silicon Valley all the way to Beijing. Governments, corporations, they're all asking this one massive question. Who is going to control the future? And the prize? Well, it is absolutely staggering. We're not just talking about who can build the smartest app here. No, no. This is about securing total economic, military, and societal leadership for generations. It's literally about winning the 21st century. Okay, so let's dive into this. What we're all witnessing right now is a completely new kind of global race. And it's one that's going to define the world of tomorrow. No exaggeration. I mean, you can basically forget the old maps of geopolitical power. A whole new global order is being forged as we speak, and artificial intelligence is right at the heart of it. The nation that masters AI, they won't just lead, they're going to fundamentally rewrite the rules of the game. So, who are the main contenders in this high-stakes game? Well, it really boils down to three major players. And here's the thing. Each one has a radically different vision, a totally different ideology for what the future of AI should even look like. And this is where it gets really, really interesting, because you can see that ideological divide laid out so clearly right here. On one side, you've got the United States, driven by this freewheeling market-first approach. Then you have China, with its state-controlled, top-down strategy that's all about national power. And then you've got the European Union trying to carve out this third way, one that's all about values and human rights. This quote here from Han Xiao of Jina AI, it just perfectly captures China's strategy. Learn, copy, and innovate at lightning speed. And look, it's a powerful approach. It's led to some incredible advancements from companies like Baidu and Alibaba. But, and this is a big but, this ambition is a double-edged sword. The Chinese government also sees AI as the ultimate tool for control. We're talking censorship, internal control, and projecting power through a massive, massive surveillance network. All right, now let's talk about the US. For now, they are the undisputed leader. They're home to the giants. You know who I'm talking about. Microsoft, OpenAI, the ones pushing the boundaries with huge investments and breakthroughs, like GPT-4. But inside this whole engine of innovation, there's a huge debate raging. People are asking about the potential for misuse and whether the government can, or even should, step in and regulate things like data privacy and algorithmic bias. It's a real tug of war. And then there's Europe. This quote from Jonas Androulis, the founder of Aleph Alpha in Germany, really gets to the heart of the EU's ambition. See, they are absolutely determined not to become a digital colony of the US or China. They want to build their own stuff on their own terms. They call it digital sovereignty. And this is their big play, the AI Act. This is a huge deal. The EU has literally pioneered the world's first comprehensive law to regulate AI. And they built the whole thing on a foundation of protecting human rights, data privacy, and democratic values. It's basically a risk-based approach. They ban the really unacceptable stuff and put super strict rules on anything they see as high risk. And this whole philosophy of a more open, more democratic AI, it's really embodied by people like Thomas Wolfe. His company, Hugging Face, is this massive open source platform, and the whole goal is to decentralize AI. Why? To stop a handful of powerful corporations from controlling this incredibly transformative technology. It's a vision that's all about transparency and letting everyone in on the action. Okay, but no matter what their vision is, every single player in this race has to deal with some very real, very harsh realities. You could call them the rules of the game. So here's a super important term you need to understand: GPU poor. Just think of GPUs, those are graphics processing units, as the high-octane fuel for AI. Simple as that. If you don't have enough of these special chips, you just can't compete at the top level. It's a massive, massive bottleneck. And that right there makes computing power the new oil. Seriously, it's the single most critical strategic resource of our time. Your access to it determines who has the power and who doesn't. It's what separates the GPU rich from the GPU poor. And just take a look at this. When you see the available computing power laid out, you can see exactly what we're talking about. The difference is just stark. The US has this massive lead right now, which gives its companies a huge head start and really hammers home that GPU poor problem for everyone else trying to catch up. Of course, with all this incredible power comes a pretty serious dark side. I mean, we're already struggling with AI-driven political manipulation, bots spreading misinformation, those hyper-realistic deepfakes, but the fears go even deeper than that. We're talking about the potential for automated weapons systems and the very real threat of widespread job displacement as AI just starts doing things cheaper and faster than people can. And that brings us to the ultimate concern, which is voiced here by Max Tegmark. This is the fear that we might actually create something that surpasses our own intelligence, leading to an existential risk that we just can't control. I mean, just imagine a super intelligent AI whose goals don't align with ours. Suddenly, this whole thing goes from being a geopolitical race to a question of, well, humanity's survival. So, after all this talk about global strategy and, existential risk, you're probably wondering, what does any of this have to do with me, with my life? The answer is pretty much everything. Think of it like this. It's a chain reaction that reaches all the way down to you. These power shifts between countries, they're going to rewrite the rules of the economy. And those new rules, they will directly impact your job, the skills you need. And right at the center of all of it is your personal data and who gets to control it. The decisions being made right now in Washington, Beijing, and Brussels, you're going to feel them in your daily life. Because when you get right down to it, this isn't just a race for the best tech. It's a race to define the very fabric of our future society. It's a battle between a future driven by the market, a future controlled by the state, and a future led by our values. And that forces us all to ask some really fundamental questions about what it even means to be human in an age of intelligent machines. So yeah, the race is on, and it's getting faster every single day. But that leaves us with one last, absolutely crucial question to think about. With all this speed and all this power, what kind of finish line are we actually racing toward? And maybe more importantly, who gets to decide?